Hey there, Rambler Rogue here, back at the Burger King in Morrisville, Pennsylvania. It's kind of a deja vu trip, having just gone from Florida to Ontario a couple of weeks ago. The weather's nice and clear. It was a little cool. It was a little cold coming through the mountains there of West Virginia. One thing I've noticed, if you haven't been to America, is that the South starts, at least in this part of the world, the South starts right at West Virginia. And now I'm in Pennsylvania. This is the North, but there isn't a huge difference. There isn't a huge distance between where you get the good old boys talking at McDonald's in almost ununderstandable Southern accents to, essentially the industrial, relatively grumpy North. I don't mean that as a diss. It's just compared to the South, Northerners are a little bit more grumpy. It could have a lot to do with, probably the most practical thing would be vitamin D. Who knows? Well, I'm sure that's a factor. Yeah, I've just been kind of in a blah mood today. I did get a little bit of sleep in West Virginia, like a few hours, just sitting pretty much like this in the passenger seat, or over like that in the passenger seat on the center console. So I did at least get some sleep, get some rest. Overall, I'm a little short on sleep, and it'll be, when I do hit a bed, I'm sure I'll be out for a long time. Another thing I find kind of interesting is that, seeing how I've been taking a lot of the same routes lately, or routes, as you would call in much of America, I stop at a lot of the same places. For example, I get gas almost every time at the places where truckers get gas. It's a little bit cheaper, and I know what to expect, and I have a rewards card. But I'm starting to recognize people that work at these places. Hey, nice hands. Can I smell them? A lonely guy. No, you can't. So I'm starting to recognize people who live, say, 3,000 kilometers away from me, but who work at these places that I've gone to, which is kind of strange to just recognize people that live so far away. Yeah, also, white man's hands like yours reminds me of mozzarella cheese in a good handsome way. Well, my hands are gross. My hands are mangled from playing instruments and working in kitchens and oyster shucking. So I've got lots of scars on my hands, and they look all mangled. I was just talking about this with Mr. G and friends in Tampa. I was at a bar one time, and I was sitting there, and this lady beside me is like, "How's the guitar playing?" So she could tell by my mangled hands. She could tell by my mangled hands that I could play guitar. It was an interesting line, anyway. Yeah, I guess another good thing about the South is that you get in public places like this. I'm at a fast food restaurant. You hear country instead of this unlistenable, terrible pop music, or this sound effects and robot noises that's pass for pop music these days. And I used to seriously hate on new country music, but I'll take that any day over this pop music. So thank goodness there's no music in this place right now. I would prefer no music. I'd prefer to never hear again than to hear what the hell is that guy's name? Anyway, I don't even want to know those people's names. Yeah, it's true. Somebody's got to do something about it. Like, complain. When they're playing it in public, you got to complain. There's a huge industry, billions of dollars, just getting that terrible excuse for music out there so everybody hears it all the time so they think it's normal. So, I don't know. Start pushing back. But that is generally the hardest thing about being on the road, is that I don't want to have to put in earplugs or earbuds every time I leave the car, but in a lot of places you pretty much have to if you're going to stay sane. And if you can stand that music, then you have been brainwashed. If you think of it as music, then you've been brainwashed. It's just a fact. But is it crazier than me wanting to smell men's hands? Well, I've heard of weirder fetishes. How do they smell? Well, they smell like the Burger King soap, so just kind of sterile. I think. A lonely guy. Well, are you a homosexual? In that case, then the men part of the smelling men's hands would make sense. I know that hetero men love the scent of a woman, and women can pick out the scent of their man just by smelling random t-shirts. They can pick which one is their boyfriend. So the sense of smell is not I don't think I'm gay. Maybe, I guess, well, you have a strange fetish then.